Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 15th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aquarius, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. And that'll be that. So let's dig it in here just a little bit. Some of you, it's like already, it's not necessarily a bad reading, of course, but I do feel maybe you feel a little trapped to a situation from like your childhood here, because you have the Eight of Swords in the area of your thoughts, and you also have, again, in your foundation, this Six of Cups. So some of you could feel trapped, if it's not something from your childhood, I would say that you could feel trapped by something that you've been dealing with for a while. And that Ace of Swords is pretty good because it says that you will be overcoming a challenge. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. I feel good about this. I feel things could be changing for you. You show up here on the Wheel of Fortune right at the top there. Of course, it's going to go out of focus, right? But right at the top, you show up there. And I kind of feel like your energy, it's just kind of putting your energy in a powerful position. It's like you're showing up for the reading. I do feel like that there are just some cycles that you have been experiencing. And again, some of these good, some of them maybe a little bit challenging, but I mean, that's life. I do feel that you're kind of trying to take more control over this Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is like the Wheel of Destiny, your personal vision for your life. And so this reading to me looks like you're trying to have more control over the direction of your life. You have the Moon as your crossing energy. The Moon in this situation can represent a couple of things. Number one, it can represent keep going. There are these mountains in the background on the Moon card, and the mountains in the tarot represent accomplishments. In the near future, you have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is above the mountains, so it kind of represents overcoming some obstacles and achieving something. So I do feel if you just kind of keep pushing forward, that you will be successful. The Moon also says, do not allow things to distract you. And these are things that are probably pulling on your emotions. The Moon is something that, controls our emotions. You hear, people always say people go crazy on the full moon and, things like that. Vampires, werewolves, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, everything happens under a full moon, so the moon tugs on our emotions. And what I would say here is that this reading is pretty simple. If you're mentally stuck, Eight of Swords, or if you feel stuck in a situation, this could be, a person that is repeating themselves in your life. Could be a person from childhood, so it could be like a family member, anything. I would look at that. Could be a lover as well. And again, it might not be something from your childhood. Sometimes I think, tarot isn't meant to be literal. It's showing up as a Six of Cups here. That's what I feel intuitively. But that doesn't necessarily mean, that's what it is. It could just be saying, this is something you've been dealing with for a long time. And so, switch. I guess not. There we go. You have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is about being stuck. You can see that she's standing in this water, and the water represents shallow emotions. It's not like shallow, like, oh, you're shallow. It's more shallow in the sense that you could be having big emotions about something that really isn't that big of a deal, something that's actually much smaller than you think. So, for some of you, this could be I'm not saying you're making a big deal out of something that isn't, but it could say that you need to take a step back and kind of look at how something is emotionally affecting you so that it isn't a big deal. I know that's kind of double speak there, but I think you get it. Next in your foundation, you have the Six of Cups. I feel for whatever reason that for some of you, again, I read intuitively, and what I'm getting here is that for some of you, this has to do with your self-worth or, how you see yourself or something that you think would be a valuable experience in your life. That is like a very broad statement, I know, but, just to give you some examples, it's like if this is a person that you thought you were going to marry, for example, and it didn't work out, then you could be thinking to yourself, like, I thought I was going to marry this person. I thought I was going to have a valuable experience with this person, but I didn't get the reward. This Six of Cups can be like a gift from the universe. And it can also represent a turnaround. We do see a turnaround here. So again, I know that the beginning of this maybe sounds a little bit challenging, but I feel like you've already been through the challenge and you're moving towards victory. So not a bad thing. It could also be maybe you thought you were going to have an experience with like a family member, like I said, and it just didn't work out, and now you're kind of like moving on from this energy. I do feel you're thinking a lot about the past. In the past position, you have the Empress. Empress, it could be the mother, so some of you could be dealing with the mother. For others, the Empress can represent just something having to do with your ability to create abundance. I'm cheating, to me, I think these things are very obvious for a tarot reader to say, right? It's like, obviously, we're in a quote-unquote recession. So it might be harder for you to create abundance, or you might think that it's harder to create abundance. I'm not saying it isn't, but what I am saying is I feel like no matter what is going on in the world, there are always people who are going to be successful. And, I always try to encourage people to be one of those people, right? No matter what. And so, I feel like some of you, a little bit of stinking thinking around finances and abundance and all those other things. In the near future, you have the Ace of Swords. So a victory, good things coming in for you. I know it's very cliche with the Ace of Swords, but I do feel like some of you need to cut something out that is emotionally draining. For some of you, I feel like it's a person as well who comes to you only when they have a problem, like that type of person. Could be a friend or a family member. And, I would just be very careful of that. For others, I just think that there are some answers coming in for you with the Ace of Swords. And these answers are going to be leading you towards a victory. Again, that sword is above the mountains. So I feel like you need to kind of grab onto the sword. The sword can represent knowledge, wisdom, learning. It can also represent communication. I kind of get like a laser-like focus on this Ace of Swords. So I feel like it's saying, if you can be very focused on something that you want to make successful, then it will be more successful. Over the next few months, you have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like growth in leaps and bounds. Those are literally the words that are popping into my head. It's almost like you're condensing a learning curve or something like that. I don't know. I feel pretty good about this. It's almost like sometimes I do feel this happens where we just have not necessarily like a breakthrough, but we kind of do a bunch of like learning or growing about a situation. And so this past situation, whatever it is, I feel you're kind of condensing the amount of time it would normally take you to heal and, learn from the situation in general. We even see this here because in the area of your closest relationships, you show up Queen of Wands. I mean, this isn't you, but I feel like this is your energy in the reading. Queen of Wands obviously would be a fire sign, but I kind of feel like you're embracing the energy of the Queen of Wands. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. The Queen of Wands is just about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. She even has this sunflower here, and the sunflower represents the sun in the tarot. So, it's almost like you're choosing more to focus on your own happiness. I just feel you maybe are with that Ace of Swords in the near future. I almost see you kind of backing up and taking a look at your life and just seeing, like these certain things in my life, like people or places and things are causing a negative spiral. I want to get out of it, so I'm going to focus on the positive, and I'm not going to focus on these things that I can't control outside of myself. I'm pretty sure your last reading, the mid-monthly reading, I'm pretty sure I said exactly the same thing. And so the energy is definitely repeating here. I also feel like coming up in your closest relationships, if you want love, I feel like you're very attractive at this time. So I would get out there for sure. Next, you have the Judgment card, hoping for answers. I do feel like some of you are hoping for some like inner answers with the Judgment card, or you're kind of like open to receiving some new information, which is interesting. See how they have their arms open like that? They're kind of like willing to receive. I'm leaning more in that direction here with the Judgment card. Normally with the Judgment card, it's like you're waking up to a new opportunity, but I feel like you're more kind of just saying to yourself, I'm open to receiving something, some new information, or I'm open to looking at things in a different way. And that's what I see here. With your outcome, right here, you have the Temperance card, turning a negative into a positive, or turning a positive into a negative, working with what you got. So I feel for some of you, you're kind of like working with what you got here. I feel that you're working towards this. This right here is the path to glory. It's like the path towards something that you truly want to accomplish in your life, or something that you truly want to have, and that's what you're working towards. So pretty simple stuff. Let's clarify this here, Aquarius, and let's see where exactly this is going. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon, you have the Hierophant, exactly what I said about learning. Also, funny enough, family. The Hierophant is traditions. The Hierophant represents thinking inside the box, because it's like we learn everything from our family, and that is like the box. So I feel you are thinking outside the box, or you're wanting to think outside the box, and that's pretty much what I get there, but also like learning the lessons very quickly. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. This is a card of, where your attention goes, energy flows. I'm pretty sure I said that in your last reading because I couldn't remember what the saying was, and someone helped me. So thank you to whoever that person was. But Eight of Wands, again, it's like you think you're stuck, then you're stuck. If you think that you're free and able to create whatever you want, then you are. I would also focus on socializing, building community, things like that. With the Six of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. I love two sixes, especially when they come up together, and especially when they're two good sixes, because it's you moving in the right direction. It's confirmation of your path, really, two sixes. Six of Wands is a card of excellence, and it's a card of success. I almost feel the universe is just saying, you need this. I feel like you need to be the Six of Wands. You need the victory. And you deserve a victory as well. But if you're keeping yourself stuck in mentally, even with the Eight of Swords, and it could be, I get a lot of things, so it's gonna be different for all of you, Aquarius. It could be just you thinking about what's going on in the world. It could be a family issue, like I said. Whatever it is, I feel like you need the victory, so it's time to focus on the victory. With the Ace of Swords, here you go, Nine of Pentacles, card of independence, card of kind of doing it on your own. I don't suggest necessarily doing things on your own alone, right? Again, we are in time of co-creation, and I get comments all the time from people that say that they would never work with a person, and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, it's just gonna take you longer, and you're making life harder. It's like, fine, go for it. It's like, I don't care, enjoy that. But really, if you truly want to be successful, I would be co-creating. And there's a million ways to do this. I think people don't realize what co-creation means. It could mean that you work together with people, literally, could represent just having a network where you kind of bounce ideas off each other. Co-creating is also like if you're creating something like a piece of art, a YouTube video, writing a book, you are co-creating with the people that you write that book for, or that you create that piece of art for, because other people are going to see it, they might enjoy it, and then by doing that, they're enjoying something you're co-creating, right? So the act of creation alone is an act of co-creation. But what I would say is that I do feel that Nine of Pentacles is talking about focusing on yourself, like I said. With the Page of Pentacles, Strength card, exactly what I said on the Page of Pentacles. No need to repeat myself, right? I feel that you are focusing on kind of correcting things in your life, correcting the energy, correcting your thoughts, correcting all this stuff. And it's like you're condensing a learning curve, as I was saying. The Strength card is a card of a daily practice. She is making that lion submit to her. And that lion could be her inner voice, her inner demons, her inner critic, whatever you want to call it. So in a lot of ways, I feel like you are making something that is challenging submit to you. With that Queen of Wands, you have the Judgment card, waking up again. So I feel like you're waking up to your true power, what you're truly capable of. I do feel there's a gift from the universe coming in for you. And the gift that you're receiving here is maybe some confirmation of your power. Sometimes we maybe accomplish something that's like a little bit hard for us to accomplish. And I feel the confirmation of being able to accomplish something that's hard for you to accomplish. You're like, what else can I do, right? So I feel the universe is giving you a boost in the sense that there's going to be some sort of victory, I feel, coming in for you. It might actually be in the next 2 weeks, maybe not this week. It's something that you are working towards. And it feels like a boost to me where it's waking you up to your true potential. And I feel you need to kind of move towards that. It's popping into my head as like, oh, I was right. So if you're working on any projects or businesses, I feel you could be saying to yourself like, wow, I was actually right about what I was supposed to do here. With the Judgment card, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is saying, don't be afraid to try new things. Everybody's had the Eight of Swords for the past few weeks. We had that triple conjunction at the beginning of the month, and I really feel that triple conjunction was kind of like saying, we need to be open to multiple ways of doing things. So I would just make sure that if you're feeling stuck, that you realize that there's multiple ways to have a victory. So just stay open. And finally with that Temperance card, you have the Death card, definitely a major transformation coming in for you here. Pretty simple reading. I feel that you're maybe getting back to the Empress that you are, right? It doesn't matter if you're man, woman, whatever, doesn't matter, right? Empress energy is just the ability to create or to create abundance. And that's what you're getting back to. I want to see what this card is here. Yeah, you have this peace card. I feel like you desperately need peace in your life is what I feel. Yeah, you have this All That Glitters card. The All That Glitters card says all that glitters is not gold. It kind of says that you could be looking at a situation that has a mask on it where you are idealizing a situation. And it does say don't necessarily idealize things. I feel you need to experience things on your own is really what that's actually saying. I almost get a totally separate message popping off of those two cards where I feel for some of you, if you haven't been having experiences, let's say that everything around you has been the same. Trust me, I'm an Aquarius rising. Guess what? I need to go have some experiences because everything in my life has been the same for too long, right? So I've been working on getting out there, joining groups, doing different things because just stagnant, stuck energy, seeing things, it's like creating an echo chamber for yourself is not necessarily a good thing, where it's like you're just feeding yourself the same information or feeding yourself these same experiences. It gets a little stuck and stagnant. I really see this as you needing to go experience new things. For some of you, I even think this could be in love. It's like maybe you have too much information coming from the people around you about love. They could be saying, don't date this person, they're giving you too many ideas. I feel like you need to experience it for yourself. Maybe you feel you've lost your identity here with this reading, and that the end of the reading, death, temperance, that could very much be a transformation in your identity, like in a big way. So pretty interesting. I kind of like where this is going, Aquarius. I know that sounds a little rough, but I actually don't think it is. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for full picture of what's going on for you at this week. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.